Might be struggling today.
Rough night.
I was just up way past my bedtime.
Yeah, I know. I got that email at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, which cracks me up because, like, dude, you could just text me.
Well, I'm like, I don't want to wake you up in the middle of the night for something stupid, but like I'm awake and I'm like, how do I get this message to you without like at 3 o'clock in the morning? You're like, oh my God, my phone's going off. It's Dan. Oh God, what happened?
I'll be honest, I probably won't even hear it.
Yeah. Well, our golf buddy, Gary, wonderful dude, was over hanging out in the studio and he was just mashing on Josh's snacks and drinks and all kinds of stuff.
I had the good stuff, though. I'll tell you that.
You did. And every time I looked over, he was just cranking into something new and I felt bad. So at the end of the night, I sent Josh an email to forewarn him that he's coming back to an empty stash.
I think he might have drank like a half drink thing that I have in there.
I don't even know what he was doing. I looked over and he had like my coffee drink. I'm like, dude, you're just going nuts. Hey, welcome back to the DansGolfWorld podcast. Josh, we got a bunch to cover today.
Yeah, we do.
There's so much going on in the golf world, in our golf world, and in our personal worlds. I mean, it's just, I feel like we're just trying to keep up.
We got a busy week ahead of us.
We do. We had a busy last week.
Yeah, with the holiday and this week too, which we'll get into a little bit in the near future of this podcast episode. But yeah, it's just been crazy busy.
I know. And I tell you what, I feel like last week's events completely threw off my plan for the things I wanted to get done. Because I feel like we're getting a little behind on certain videos because other videos came out of nowhere and had to get up and posted.
Oh, yeah, you had to put that up.
For those that didn't see it, I had an incredibly special moment. I mean, there's highlight moments in life. Some of these I can speak for, and I'll say for myself, like, the day, your child is born. Big day. Never forget it. Wedding day, things like that. Huge day. I had something that was quite near that level.
Maybe even more.
I'm being careful. I'm being very careful. Folks, Josh is my witness. Had my very first hole in one.
Dude, it was nuts. Like, it was so cool to witness, dude.
All right, I feel like the video, the way it was posted presented a question, but really didn't outline how the whole thing went down. And I feel like for the fairness of the audience at home and the people commenting away on social media, we should kind of go through it. I mean, do you think that's fair?
We need a deep dive, yeah.
Okay. Josh and I, we try and get out and play 1-2 days a week. And generally we try and film some form of content when we get out there, whether it's a 3-hole challenge or something. We're heading out there and we really didn't have a game plan.
No.
We're like, well, let's just bring cameras. We don't have any guests. We don't have a 3-hole challenge going. Let's just kind of think of something as we go and we'll just find some content. So we're prepared and ready, but weren't really out there with any sort of a plan. Getting into the round, barely into the round. We're stepping up to hole 3. I mean, a lot of times when we jump out during the middle of the week, there's no warm up. We're not hitting the range. We're not chipping and putting a bunch. It's literally, load the clubs up on the cart, head out to the first tee, and we're blasting away at Green Garden Golf Course, like a mile and a half here from the studio. It's beautiful. I mean, we can literally close the laptop and be over there in 4 minutes.
45 holes of fun is what I say.
It's brilliant. So first hole, still kind of warming up. Second hole starts to feel a little better, a few swings under your belt at this point. Third hole, we're still barely in the round. I mean, grand total, we played a par 4 and a par 5, maybe 10 swings total at this point with a bogey on one. Step up to hole 3, par 3, playing about 163 yards, a little bit of wind in the face. It's a little bit of an in-between club for me. I play my 7-iron about 170, maybe 175. My 8-iron is like my 160, 165 club, and 163 with wind in the face. I'm like, I feel like hitting over a little bit of water here. I should add some club and then maybe take a hair off of it. I don't know. It's a guessing game. I throw a 7-iron out there. Josh is my witness. It looked good in the air the whole time.
It looked phenomenal.
It was on line. The thing I couldn't tell, because the wind in the face kind of caused the ball to float up, you know, I didn't know distance-wise if I was dialed.
Yeah, we had no clue from as soon as it hit the tree line.
Yeah, gone.
And the way the sun was beating on the green, because the sun, it was clear skies.
Beautiful day.
Beautiful. Could not see
clouds
anything.
had silver linings. It was picturesque. At least that's the way I remember it.
Yeah, clear skies, nothing.
A little bit of breeze, a nice breeze.
Nice
like
breeze.
Just to cool off the day. It wasn't windy, but just, you know, it was kind of coming at us a little bit. And the ball's gone. So on a great line, ball's gone. For some reason, because I can't really see it on the green, you know, par 3, 163, you can generally kind of see about where your ball landed. I don't see it. So my thought is, man, I really hope it didn't go long. I feel like because I'm not seeing it with the green kind of sloped down towards us, you can kind of look at it and see most of it until the back where it kind of rolls off. I'm not seeing the ball. It must have rolled off the back. Now, Josh, unfortunately, did not have a fantastic tee shot.
That was like the only tee shot I had that was awful that day.
I get we were still warming up. You know what I mean? Like the round was hardly underway. Josh might have put it in the water.
Yeah, I put it in the water.
You know, okay, again, I'm not trying to
Wait,
make...
no, I didn't put it in the water. I did even worse. I didn't even make it to the water.
Oh. All right. Brutal. So you're heading up. Maybe you got about 100-yard shot.
Yeah.
You're setting up to get on the green now. While I'm waiting, I get my little rangefinder out and I start like looking for the ball. And I sort of see it. I'm like, dude, I think I can see the ball. It's like right next to the cup. Like, dude, I think I stuck it really tight. And you're like, yeah, like, here, check it out. And then now you're looking.
I'm like, that's in the hole.
I'm like, I think it's right there, but I wasn't convinced yet.
I saw half the ball.
But for me, it's like, you know, green and grass. And like, if there's like an ounce of undulation, it could hide a little bit of ball, like whatever. It's never my first assumption that it's in because that's like the rarest possibility. So we start heading up there and I was like, hey, how about you roll the camera? Maybe we'll do something fun. Like we'll roll the camera. I'll kind of make my way up towards the ball. You'll film it and it'll be very close. And I could be like, oh man, look how close this was to a hole in one. Maybe we could post a video asking a fun question. Like, have you ever had a hole in one or something? And you know, I don't know, it's just a simple piece of content. We were trying to come up with something. So I'm like, Josh, here. I just opened. I think it was my phone. I just opened it and I went to the video screen, or like to the camera, handed it to Josh. And I'm like, here, just roll this. And I start driving towards the ball and I head up. And the rest of what you see is exactly how it played out.
Yeah.
I mean, I start moving towards it and I'm like, no way. And I start running. Josh starts running because we start realizing that this ball that we're seeing is lodged in the cup, but still sticking out a little bit in the cup.
Yep.
And somehow, I don't even know how you did this.
I don't know how I did it either.
But we're both running, staring at the ball, and somehow Josh is like side hand filming me, but like looking at the ball because you can hear him yelling, "Dude, that's in! Like it's in the hole." And yet you're like filming me at this like perfect like running matched speed.
I don't know how that happened.
No,
I'll be honest with you. I have no clue how that happened.
Here's the crazy part: is it was randomly so good that actually was one of the parts that gave people the feel that this wasn't real because it was so good.
Dude, the whole moment, like everything, you know, when you get those moments where everything clicked.
Yeah.
In that moment, everything clicked. You got the hole in one.
Oh.
You did your job. I did my job of somehow getting this angle of you running.
Yeah.
As I'm running 90 degrees compared to what the camera's doing.
Yeah.
And we're not using tripods or anything. We're just handheld in this thing.
No steady cam, no nothing. It's just like an iPhone in the hand, not even looking where it's pointing, just like running, and it just like tracked perfect.
Do you know what I was more worried about? I was more worried about hitting that pin, the flag, when I was running and just knocking it in there and be like, oh.
Well, so this was the interesting thing. I mean, golf has, like every sport, you know, you've got the broad set of rules. Then you sort of got like the in-depth rules, and then you have these like wild nuance sets of rules. And we got to the point where, and in the video you'll see, the ball was halfway in the hole. And the reason it wasn't all the way in the hole is because the wind of the flag that was coming towards us, the wind in the face, was pressing, the flag stick was pressing on the ball and sort of holding it at the edge. It was about halfway, and every time the wind blew, the ball would just go down a little more, and the wind and the flag would release a little pressure, and then the ball would drop a little more. Not knowing every single square nuance of the golf rules, I was like, wait, well, is that in? I mean, it's in, but it's like, it's not at the bottom of the cup. Like, what happens here? But what do we do? Like, I think that's in. And I actually had a moment there where, like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know, like, I want to grab the ball and hold it and celebrate, but is that the right move? Do you just reach in and grab it? Does it need to finish its way into the hole? And you're like, just move the flag stick and it's in. I'm like, but can you? I mean, I know there's certain things, if you move something in some way and you've now affected it, you're now taking a penalty and you're adding strokes to your round, and you would potentially, unfortunately, eliminate your hole in one. And so I had this like this window of time where I'm like, I don't know what to do here. Like, is it already in? Do I need to do something to complete its way in? Or is none of this in and I don't have a hole in one? Funny thing is, I went with my gut. I moved the flag stick back kind of to an upright standing position, against the wind. Ball falls to the bottom of the cup. I take it out. Big celebration, huge moment. You take my picture. I've got my hole in one shot next to the flag. Great thing. I later go on, edit the video, get it posted later on that evening, and everybody starts coming in with the comments and the rules. Like, yes, it's in. No, it's not. This and that. But a few people started commenting the actual rule subsection that this falls under. And I learned one of the most interesting things, that in that scenario, you are allowed to and supposed to move the flag back to its original position to allow the ball to fall. And when the ball then falls into the cup, it's a hole in one. So the whole time we're there questioning it, it wasn't a hole in one yet.
No.
And had either one of us or I reached down and grabbed the ball to celebrate, I would have actually canceled out my hole in one. That it was the movement of the flag, allowing the ball to fall to the bottom of the cup, completed the hole in one. Thank God.
Yeah.
That of like all the questions that were racing through my mind, that I opted for that final step to then complete my hole in one. So USGA rules, everything all in place, all in order. It is an official, proper, historical hole in one.
Yeah, and what equipment you use? You use your Cobra 7 iron, right?
Yeah, I've got Cobra Forge Tech irons, and it was my 7.
And what ball?
I was playing a Bridgestone RX. It was the Bridgestone RX. And I actually went on their website, and you can submit, and you get a little certificate. So I'll be having my Bridgestone RX golf ball plaque being shipped here.
I wonder what do you have pictures of any other ones, or do you know what they look like at all?
When you fill it out online and put all your info in, it shows you like a proof of what it will look like. So I got to see like a little bit of like a digital rendering to make sure it all looks right and everything's in and whatever. So that's as much as I've seen, but I've never seen like, what it looks like.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cause I wonder if people put that on like YouTube or stuff when they get it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look what I got for my hole in one. Cause I know like, I know it's a whole different course, whole different thing. The PGA, course in Florida. I forget where it's at. The one where Bob and Colcutt's got their hole in ones.
Oh yeah.
They got a huge plaque with the date on it when they did it there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that provided by the golf course?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's fun.
But it was a PGA national course, so I mean, of course they would.
Yeah. You're paying $700 a round. They'll throw in a little placard.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Here's what I will tell you, that it's incredible. It's the feeling, the moment, the energy. I mean, you got to witness it. So I imagine you're sort of, in terms of my hole in one, the closest outside view of what that moment is and feels like and means. And really so much so, and you saw this, like, I had a hard time getting back on track to play golf.
No, you didn't.
No, I'm just saying, like, mentally, like, I was like sitting in the cart, like I was like
you birdied the
bewildered.
next hole.
I did, which is mind blowing. But either way, I'm just saying, like, usually golf is like, it's this flow, and you're like, you play a hole, you go up, you hit your shot, you get to your ball, whatever it is, you set up your next shot, you hit your ball, you get on the green, you read your putts, you, for me, take 2, 3, sometimes 4 putts if it's not going well, and you move right along. Wait for the other guy, boom, you're in the cart, you move. And I felt like I didn't like know how to golf flow. I was like, wait, what do I do now? Like, where? So, okay, and I got to go hit driver and play another hole. Like, where are we at? Like, it's weird. I mean, of all the rounds of golf I play that I have played, this was the first time like I felt like a little lost. Like I was just like, what do we do now?
That fourth tee box was we were in shambles. We were like, what do we do?
Yeah.
We actually turned back because we started driving away, got to the tee.
Yeah.
And then 1, we had a single that was behind us, and 2, he wanted a picture. He didn't take the picture yet.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
we left the hole with the video, but not the picture. And I'm like, we got to go back to it. I got to get the one where I hold the ball.
He's teeing up. He goes, after our tee shots, let's go take a picture. I'm like, go, dude, take your ball. We're not teeing off right now. We're taking that picture.
It was a way better idea. Like, why start the hole, leave the hole, come back to the hole, and your ball's sitting out there somewhere? That was the right thing to do. That was a very good call.
But that day was just electric.
Yeah.
You shot your lowest round.
I did. My new personal best round, I shot a 76. Previous best round, 77. So just moving that down one felt very good. Like, it was a very, very special day. Funny note, I went out and played around with my father-in-law this weekend. He loves to play early. Total early guy. He's like, what's the first tee time? I'm like, I don't know. Like, who first tee time? Like, he wants to be out there first. So I think we weren't very first, but we went out at like, 6:50 a.m. Ungodly early.
Feeling. Yeah, I know that feeling.
You know, I go to bed like 4.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, so teeing off at 6:50 is like almost still tonight. It's not tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We play the same course. We play Gold Course. Same one as the hole in 1. I get to hole 3. I think I got a 7.
Oh, no.
The very next time. Dude, it was so bad that I hit short of the green. I hit right of the green. I chip up, and the ball keeps rolling all the way down off the front, all the way down to the fringe. I putt back up the hill, and it rolled right back down to my feet. And I'm like, no. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So this one, then like I pound it, so it doesn't, whatever. I think it took a 6 or a 7. I don't know. But it was an insane reversal. 1 round later, hole in 1, best round of my career, head back 4 days later, and take a 6 or a 7 or something on that same hole.
That's just how it happens.
That's golf, man.
Same with me. Like when you that same round, I figured out my driver.
Yeah.
Like that's the most consistent you see me hit a driver. And I maybe sliced 2, didn't top any.
Yeah.
And the last one, I ended up driving it the furthest I ever drove it before, 270. I don't drive the ball 270.
And then what happened the next time you played?
That was Saturday.
Yeah.
So my birthday was yesterday.
That's right. Happy birthday.
Thank you. So my birthday was yesterday. We record on Tuesdays, as you guys know, if you guys are consistently watching. So I wasn't here yesterday, but Saturday, well, let's start it off this way. Start off with Friday. This birthday weekend gets a little crazy. Friday, first week of bowling.
How many days was your birthday?
According to my girlfriend, 4.
Wow, what an extravaganza.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't think people celebrate Easter that long.
No.
It's Josh's birthday.
So Friday, first week of bowling. First shot I threw in practice, like I haven't thrown a ball. I've been literally all about golf. Didn't even think about
Pounded
bowling.
the range.
Didn't think about bowling. First ball, buried it. I'm like, okay, I won't need anything else. First game, going for 300.
Really?
I shoot front 10, so that's a first 10. Then I got to shoot 2 more, shoot 300 for you non-bowlers out there that don't.
Me included.
Yeah. Shoot a pocket 710. So that means buried it.
Yeah.
The back 2 pins stood up.
Oh, no.
287. But that was one of the things I wanted to do, because imagine You hit a hole in one.
Yeah.
I shoot a 300 in the same damn week. That would have been electric.
That'd have been wild. That'd have been some serious energy for the week.
Yeah. And then we shot a birthday edition episode of Every Inch Counts. Then Saturday rolls around. My girlfriend wanted me to take her golfing. She actually took me golfing, if we're being real here. And
It's
she
your
wanted
birthday. I mean, that's a wonderful thing to do.
She wanted me to teach her. And first of all, I'm not probably one person that could teach golf, right? One, I'm a lefty. Two, I'm actually probably better at coaching than playing right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that worked out in the favor. But I got to tell you what happened here. So, she lost because I have a righty set of clubs and a lefty set of clubs. I used to golf righty. Weird. So she lost the sand wedge, my sand wedge on like the 4th or 5th hole.
Temporarily or permanently? Is it gone forever?
We thought it was gone.
Okay.
Hole 4, literally like 10 holes later, Ranger comes up. Hey, did you guys lose a sand wedge? And this thing's an old Wilson sand wedge.
Yeah.
It's rusted.
Did you have any clue at that point?
I knew it because I'm like, this old golf bag has holes in it. It's not like ours where there's like a big hole you could fit like 3 clubs in.
Yeah.
This one you could fit 1 club in. So I'm like, what are you missing? I look at the bag, I go, what are you missing?
Oh, no.
She's like, I don't know. I go, where's the sand wedge? I'm like, you're going to need that sand wedge or else you're going to just start labeling all these chips. And
it's gone.
I drive 2 greens back and we're randomly paired. So I'm like, now I got to make these guys wait more.
Yeah.
Because we played from the red tees. I'm not going to lie. I just bumped it up and played where she would play.
Yeah.
Just to make it easier. Couldn't find it. Drive back. I'm like, it's gone. And then roll around a couple holes later. We have a par 3. And of course, she's driving everything. She can't hit a ball.
Yeah.
I tell her to, free swing it. She likes to come down like a club at it. Almost like you're hitting one of those...
like she's driving a nail down?
Yeah, like one of those arcade
pounding
games.
Pounding a steak?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you have to come around. Like, you got to not come around your body, but you got to have like a swing motion here. Well, she doesn't do it. Smacks the ball on the ground, hits her right in the cheek.
No.
Right here.
No.
Right here, smacked her. And I'm like, I knew it hit her. I didn't say anything until she was done.
Yeah.
And then we get in the cart, and I go, did that get you in the face? She goes, yeah.
Oh,
No. And then
I hate golf. This is stupid.
You see a couple tears coming down.
Oh, God, I'd be crying like a baby.
But, dude, the best thing that happened from her game was in the last hole. That always happens. Last hole brings everyone back.
Yeah.
We're in the bunker because we played best ball until we hit the green, and then we're putting for ourselves.
All right. It's a great way to learn.
Yeah. And she chips it out of the bunker 2 feet from the pin. I'm like, are you kidding me? And this thing's steep. It's a solid 2.5 feet steep.
So she's just barely figuring out the game, gets hit in the face with the ball. And now she's getting up and down out of the bunker.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm like, come on. And then later she needed to buy time because she even told the random pairing 2 guys that what was going on that day.
Yeah.
I still have no clue. So to waste time, we went to this antique mall. And I love like flea markets.
You love some old shit.
I love old resale
You'll collect
shit.
anything.
Yeah, like old toys. Like I have a Power Ranger tattoo for a reason. Like if I could find old Mighty Morphin Power Ranger toys from the 90s.
Oh, you're buying them.
I'm taking them.
Yeah.
And do you know what I found there? So I have this tattoo. His name's Hot Stuff.
Hot Stuff.
It's an old classic cartoon and comic. It's in the universe of Casper. Casper the Ghost.
Yeah.
We found a big ass thing of his old comics, this thick. They wanted $75 for him. Like if it was $50, I would have got it.
Oh.
They wanted a little bit.
How many were in the
price.
stack?
It said it was just a big book. It was one of those like.
Okay.
I think it said there was like 110 issues in there, and because they're short because they're old.
Oh, it's less than $1 an issue.
Yeah, but it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And then
something like that, if you were to buy it, let's say for the 50, the 75, whatever, Is that something keep for the rest of your life, pass it down to your grandkids, or is that I want to flip this thing and see if I can make some money in the open market?
That is something I'd keep because my grandpa had the same tattoo when he was in Vietnam, I think. I think he was in Vietnam. And I'm like, I want that. I'm like, I want that tattoo. That thing's sick.
Yeah.
And then when he passed away, I was like, I even wanted more. Like, I want to get it. And then I ended up getting it. And that's another one where, like, a whole bunch of people in my family have it. So I'm like, that would have been cool just to have. And, you know, if my kids were one day were like wondering, what's your tattoo? What's that little devil tattoo? I go, well, it's this here. Give them the book and read it. And they're like, oh, that's cool. Or they'll be like, that's so sad. But
why'd you save these?
Yeah, why'd you save all these? And why'd you get that put on your body? But then later that night, around like 3:30, 4 o'clock, she's been telling me all day, it's like, we got to get home so you could get changed so we could go out to the next place. Well, I'm trying to get it out of her this whole damn time. I'm like, yo, what are we doing here? Like, I need to know.
Yeah.
Because I kind of get like a little anxious. I'm like, I love surprises, but at the same time, I don't.
Want to know the plan. Like,
Yeah.
What are we doing? What time do we got to be there?
I want to be mentally prepared.
Yeah.
Well, she's like, she cut the grass and picked up all the dog poop in the backyard, and I'm like, okay, that's suspicious. She did that for a reason. She just didn't go do it. And then I'm walking into her house. Her uncle and her cousin are there. So I'm like, what are they doing over here? They're not usually over here. And my girlfriend's like, it's like, come check out what I did in the backyard. Come check out my mow job. I'm like, okay.
What time is it right now at this point in the
almost
day?
4.
Okay. What time did you start golf?
9.
9. Okay,
Yeah.
so you've had a big day.
Yeah,
Been to the antique mall.
Already
and now
had a big day.
4 o'clock. Okay.
Already had a big day.
We've got a good timeline going here now.
Huge pop. All of our friends are there, and it ended up being a really good, fun night. We played
So
some
she
games.
fully got you. Full-blown surprise.
Full-blown got me, yeah.
Like, there wasn't even like, I think I know what's going on, but I'm going to be like a good boyfriend and just play along. You were just not a clue.
Not a clue.
Wow.
Yeah, no clue.
Well, that's a solid one, because I feel like it's one thing to do it for like an 8-year-old where they just don't even know what's going on. Like, there could be, everybody could park in the driveway. They wouldn't realize what's going on.
Well,
She got you.
apparently all the cars the street we went down, all the cars were parked there, and I missed all of them. So,
So you are like an 8-year-old.
So
it's
I
fine.
am.
It's fine. It's fine.
And then Sunday, pretty much just hung out with the fam, had like a family birthday gathering with grandparents, my parents, my sister, just hung out, played a couple games. And then Monday, talk about an early tea time. We did have pretty much the earliest tea time yesterday. We had a 7 o'clock tea time.
Do you play better that early?
No.
Me either. Same thing.
No.
Same thing.
I had a good range session before. We did go to the range before because my dad hasn't golfed in like 3 years. But then
So he's got to hurry up and get better.
It blows my mind because he could just he loves his hybrids.
Yeah.
He grabs a 5 hybrid and he could just hit it straight like he's been golfing for years and decades,
That's
like
so
every day.
unfair.
I'm like, come on. He's a lefty too. So,
Dude, I'm telling there's something that old dudes have that young guys don't. We're out there just trying to like pound the ball, swing crazy hard, hit these epic shots, and you'll get an old timer who's just like schmink right down the middle of the fairway. Does it go as far? No, probably not.
No.
But so what? You're like, it's a par 5. I have 3 shots to get there. What's your hurry? You're trying to smoke a driver as hard as you can. Get there in 2 with your 3-wood. It's like, yeah, but I'm just going to go hit, putt, make par, and I'm going to beat you on the hole again.
Yeah, so me and my one buddy, family friend of mine who I've known literally since I was like 10 years old, him and his dad came out, joined us before they actually went to work after, which is kind of funny. It was me and my buddy versus the dads. So it was old guys versus young guys. We played bogey golf. We didn't play bad golf.
It's fair.
They whooped us.
Did they?
So
Thank God.
one of the shots that happened was like I'm looking. There's a hill to the left of the green, and then the pin is on the other side of the green. Well, my buddy's dad hits that hill. He gets a lucky kick and puts it about like 25, 30 feet from the hole. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. And then I turn to my buddy. I go, we got to be careful. My dad hits stupid putts like this. What does he do literally right after I say it?
Comes in clutch.
Sinks it for a birdie. And then they did it again. And
It's frustrating.
yeah, it was. But it was fun. It was
You had
fun.
a great time. You had a great birthday.
Yeah.
Do you feel older?
No.
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 How old are you now? Are you 21? You can
26.
drink now?
26.
26.
Dog.
All right.
I did have my double fish, though, at Hibachi, my shrimp
You
and
went
lobster.
for the double shellfish.
Yup. Yup. It was good, man. It was good.
What a great way to celebrate. Did they did you alert them that it was your birthday and then they came out and like beat the single drum and sing this terrible version of Happy Birthday?
We just well, the guy sang Happy Birthday, but I didn't want any of that stuff because we wouldn't eat it anyways. It's like cheesecake or something.
Yeah.
I don't eat cheesecake. My girlfriend don't eat cheesecake. We're good on that. Like, just get us our food so we had to go to Target because she bought me Legos. I'm a huge Lego nerd. So she wanted to get some Legos for herself, so she's building while I'm building. And then the rest of the night, we just build Legos.
What a time.
Yeah, I know,
What a time
right?
to be alive.
What a good birthday. You
What
know
a
what
great
I mean?
birthday. What a great week. Great birthday. Great everything.
Yeah.
Do you feel, did you feel loved in it all?
Yeah, it was good. It was
That's
one
great,
of the
man.
better probably the best like birthday weekend or like just all hodgepodge all put together.
Yeah.
It was fun.
If you could set a goal in life, would it be to be like the farthest hitting, young jock golfer, or would it be to play relaxed, solid old man golf? What would you rather?
Old man golf, man.
There's something about it.
Dude, there's nothing cooler than seeing just a old schmo who could barely move.
Yeah.
Just stripe it down the fairway.
Yeah.
And then stripe it about maybe, depending on the hole, right before the green or on the green, the second shot, and then just putting it in for birdie. Like, it's insane.
It is. And I mean, here's the thing. There's so many times where I want to hit a shot less. And in my mind, I'm going to take some off of it. I'm going to swing a little less. I'm not going to really get after it because I don't need it here. And I end up timing up the club so beautifully in this less effort swing that it'll still go the distance of my full swing. And there is something about the relaxation and mental removal of power that actually gives you some of your best shots.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's so much of what old man golf is that they have no intention of overpowering this ball, taking a massive swing. They just relax. Like, I don't want to get hurt. I want to be relaxed. I want to be comfortable. I've got plenty of shots still left to get to this hole and make par or maybe a birdie. And they relax and they take nice swings. And I think so much of the following generation, so much of us, want to get out there and swing the club.
Well, it's because all you see are all these YouTubers now that could body a ball.
Yeah.
And they could drive a par 4 from the tips like it's nothing. And that's just not.
Yeah.
That's a very small ratio of golfers that can actually do that.
And I think there is so much to be learned from that it's like, why? I can see a proven way to do this better, but I'm refusing to pursue it.
Now, quick question. Do you have this is like a 2-part question.
Yeah.
Do you have a different swing when you're playing stroke play by yourself or in a scramble? And what do you do if you know, like, say we have a buddy that could outdrive anyone,
Yeah.
middle of the fairway, and then you come up? What do you do there? Do you even hit, or do you try to reach it?
So if I'm playing my own ball, my own score, I'm just trying to put together a round, I play wildly more conservative than I do when I'm playing in some sort of like a team format or especially like a 4-man scramble. Because I guess there's sort of this fallacy that there's just somebody else who could pull it off if I don't. But there's also like you said, this dude pounded one and put one out there. I have nothing to lose. I can swing my heart out and hope for a miracle that maybe does better than him. And if it doesn't, who cares? It's a range ball. It's just, who cares? Pull another one out of the bucket and hit again at your next shot, because there's no pressure on that. But like, I mean, even the same thing, sometimes when you're playing in a scramble or whatever, it was like, yeah, let's take this ball from here. Well, for me in my game, I don't like hitting from that spot. I wouldn't want to be here, but as a group, this is a little closer, and the consensus is we're going to play from there. So there's a lot of times where I actually feel like I perform not actually at my best in scramble groups, because it isn't the flow of the type of round that I practice.
Yeah.
And I'm hitting from different spots. I'm hitting from different distances. I'm making different choices. I mean, there's a lot of times where me on a par 5, let's say, for example, okay, we're playing, and my math is going to suck, so I'm going to try and do this quick. We're playing a 500-yard par 5. Let's say I hit my driver, 250, and we'll see if these numbers really work out. So what do I have left? I've got 250 left. So I have the option to either try and smoke a 3-wood and maybe get it up there, get it around somewhere. And it could fade right and be off over in a bunker in some long grass. It could hit hard, roll off the back, and now I'm trying to get up and down around the green and play these little touchy shots in long grass. Or I hit a 150 club, put myself to 100 yards out, which for me is a very comfortable 54 degree, and I can kind of target and put it right on the green. Now, in a scramble format, I am pulling out the 3-wood and I'm trying to get it up there for maybe that beautiful miracle shot that stays on the green, and now we're on the green in 2. If I'm playing a solo round, I am not doing that unless for some reason this hole just has something about it that makes me want to go for it. There's no water, there's no danger, the risk is very minimal. Otherwise, I'm just hitting a comfortable second shot to set up my third shot. You would never, ever do that in a scramble format. It's not happening.
Yeah.
You're not going to step up to your second shot on a par 5 and hit an 8-iron 150 to set up for this nice conservative play to get a par, or maybe take that 100-yard shot, hit it close, make a putt, and you've just got yourself a birdie. So for me, that's where scrambles and team type events are very different, because it is just a completely different style of golf. You're throwing caution into the wind all the time. And it is like, that ball sitting out there, I'm going to swing out of my shoes. If I'm playing around by myself and I'm trying to put together a score, I'm reminding myself to relax. I'm reminding myself to take a deep breath. Like, this is okay. It's easy. Let's just put a nice one out there. What shot shape? I'm going to play a nice little fade. I'm going to aim up the left side and let it fall back to the middle. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to be up the left side and I'm okay, because the dog leg is heading to the right, or whatever it may be. Now, scramble, I'm sending it over the tree line. I'm like trying to do something and be the hero for this shot.
I tend to, because when I'm playing with my buddies, we only play scrambles unless we're at like the par 3 course or something small. And I always like going first.
Yeah.
Because I could stay relaxed. I don't have to try to overpower, because I could, if I get a hold of it and I actually hit it the right way, the ball moves, ball flights the correct way, like a little baby fade.
Yeah.
It goes. But my buddies who, especially the one who loves to free swing it and just let it fly, he tends to slice it a lot. So like most of the time it's like, okay, he goes first, he sliced it at the kingdom come. It's out
Are
of
we even
bounds.
going to find this?
And now I got to step up here. Now I got to figure out where to put it, how to hit it, and where to.
Don't slice it, just fade it.
Yeah.
Don't duck hook it. Don't top it.
Yeah. So it really depends, because if I'm not first, I'm sending balls, like especially if they're in play. Like, I'm just trying to hit it hard. Yeah. But I don't think I have the skills yet to try to really swing it, because you've seen it. Every time I try to swing it, I'm either topping it or I'm just chucking it to the right.
You're doing the opposite of the old man golf.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to hit that drive that feels so good because I pounded it so far. Yeah. Instead of, I just want to be in the fairway. That's all I want to do. I just want to be in the fairway. I don't want to be punching out of trees. I don't want to be in the long grass. I just want to be in the fairway and advance the ball and make a great score.
Yeah.
it's a weird dynamic. Here's what I will say in terms of positioning and lineup. It depends on where I feel like I land in terms of the skill level of the group.
Me too. Yeah.
If I feel like I'm playing with players that are less than me, I want them to go first. Because if everybody sprays everything everywhere, I need to know, I'm like, hey, I just need to make sure we have a shot. These guys are kind of all over the place. They're all questionable. And I want that information before I choose my club and choose my shot. If one of those guys puts something out there decent, then it's like, okay, cool. I'm fully going driver and I'm fully swinging big to maybe get us something a little better. But if everybody makes a mess, I might put the driver away and go back to 3-wood so I can guarantee we have a shot, because there is absolutely nothing worse than all 4 people missing in a 4-person scramble. And you're just like, we suck. Like, how did nobody put anything together? If I am not the most advanced player, I like to shoot earlier. I like to just step up, and I like to be the one who puts something nice out there for everybody. Take a comfortable swing. I have no pressure. It is just me, the hole, take a swing, put my drive out there that I always do. I'm not trying to do anything special. Put a ball out there. I've done my part. I can step back, and everybody else can do whatever they want. If you want to go nuts, if you want to, I don't care. You can go back to the golf cart. But that's sort of how I have my positioning preference in, that format.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people, like, I see it all the time, like on YouTube, like their big baller hits a bomb.
Yeah.
Nukes it right down the middle of the fairway. Like, okay, let's go. They don't even hit.
Yeah. Well, and I made that mistake over the summer. I was playing in a group outing, and the dude we're playing with just absolutely smashes I think it was a hybrid, maybe a 5-wood, I don't know. Hole is a mile away. And I was like, all right, let's go. And they're like, well, you're not going to hit. I'm like, I don't hit my club that far. Like, I don't know. What do you want me to do here? And they're like, well, hit anyway. And I'm like, okay, I'll stay warm. The scramble is moving slow anyway. I hit the 3-wood of my life. I just hit it all. It bounce, rolled up to the green. It was beautiful. I was ready to get in the cart. I was like, dude, our big bomber hit. We got the one we need. And I just had that beautiful lucky shot that played out where it bounce, roll. And now it's up on the green. So it kind of proved to me that it's like that. It is a little dumb to just say, I'm going to go get back in the cart, because you don't know what's going to be. 2 things you don't know. One, where his ball is actually resting. I mean, what if it's in just something stupid, something dumb that you're not aware of? I mean, I get it in a scramble, you get the club length, you can move the ball. Either way, just hit the ball. Send one out there. It doesn't hurt. I mean, that was a very important lesson I learned that day, where I'm like, I'm heading back to the cart. No, just hit your ball. Okay, improved. Now we're on the green.
That's sweet. Yeah.
Did you hear that there's a new season of Full Swing coming?
Yep. Found out today.
What's your excitement level?
I'm pretty hyped about it, especially because of some of the things that happened this year on tour.
All right, what are some of the highlight moments that stand out to you that you're looking forward to seeing them cover?
The Scotty Scheffler arrest.
The Scotty Scheffler arrest.
Dude, that has to be like the main focus.
Yeah.
It's got to be. It's the biggest.
That should be 5 episodes.
That's the biggest story that's come out of the PGA Tour since the whole Tiger Woods thing.
I would think so.
Like that story, it actually, that happened to a football player this weekend too?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was I saw the clips on my TikTok and stuff of him being handcuffed, people driving with their phones out the window. What was he? Was he speeding? Like,
I have no clue. You want me to look it up?
Yeah. I mean, for context, but I am very excited to see an in-depth look at the Scotty Scheffler arrest. See if they uncover anything that we didn't know. See if there's like some, I don't know, inside look from some people that were very close to the situation. I'm kind of excited about that. Not gonna lie.
So it was Tyreek Hill. And it is saying he was pulled over for a traffic incident about 1 block from the stadium and briefly detained by police. Then the Dolphins team wrote on Twitter or X on Sunday, he has since been released. Several teammates saw the incident and stopped to offer support. Tyreek and all other players involved have safely arrived at the stadium and will be available for today's game. So it doesn't say it was just some traffic incident, and not sure why. They claimed that he was being disrespectful and was still trying to get out of whatever he was getting put into. But,
yeah. Come on. I mean, he's in front of the stadium. Like,
yeah.
the reason you guys are out here, like, here's what I would believe. He was pulled over because there's more police presence, because there's a football game that he is playing in.
And here's the difference about this. It's not like he's in some, like, no-name sport. Like, I would technically consider golf almost like a no-name sport because you don't know. If you're not into golf, you're not going to know who this guy is. You're not going to know who
I don't know
guy
who
is.
that guy is, but it's different.
This guy is one of the better players in the NFL. Like, everyone knows who this guy is and all that stuff. So this guy was blowing up.
Do you think he is more notable than the number one golfer in the world?
In this situation, probably, yeah.
Just like overall, like society-wide. Like,
I think so.
Very possible. Because I don't watch football at all. I don't really have, like, because I've actually never heard of him before.
Yeah, he's really good.
Is he?
Yeah.
And do you think the cops were aware of who he was the whole time, or do you think there was any of that misunderstanding, like the Scotty Scheffler
There could
instance?
have been misunderstanding because most of the time you don't know who these guys look like outside their helmets. Like when you went to the American Century, you couldn't tell half the football players because they were in helmets.
That's different because I've never watched them play before.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean, there's certain people, I don't know. I can't even think of any of these guys' names right now. Aaron Rodgers.
You know him.
I know what he looks like. He's sort of transcended the helmetless sort of
Tom
facade.
Brady.
Yes. Guys like that. I could pick them out of the Kelsey brothers, of course.
You
like
know
either
Troy
one
Polamalu?
of them. I don't know who that is.
You remember the old Head and Shoulders commercials on TV with the Pittsburgh Steelers football player with the really long hair?
Kind of.
That's Troy Polamalu. That was one of my favorite players growing up.
All right.
But get back on the full swing.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a full swing effect on players, like a jinx?
A jinx?
I believe there is.
Well, okay, give me some examples. Who do you think has fallen victim of the full swing jinx?
Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas.
That's painful to recognize.
Scotty Scheffler. Because of the arrest.
I mean, it didn't jinx his season.
No, it didn't jinx the season, but it jinxed stuff outside.
Okay.
Who was that guy that passed away that they did like a thing on?
Grayson Murray?
Yeah, didn't they do a thing on him?
I think he was in there.
I think it was
he wasn't like
first
one of the
episode.
main like key figures throughout the entire season, but I think he was involved.
Whatever happened to Joel Damon?
I would fully agree. I mean, he even talks about it in season 2 that the ride and the rise to fame from season 1 was a wild shift and distraction where all of a sudden this sort of obscure golfer who's never near the top of the leaderboard is now all of a sudden like autographs. His caddy is giving out autographs. I mean, the guy became a superstar from the show, and it had some real effects on him. I would agree that there was a major shift with him.
Ian Poulter? He fell off the face of the earth. He went to live and just fell off.
Yeah. I feel like people treated him like they've always hated him, even though he wasn't always hated. But he's referred to and talked about like now in a present tense, like people have always hated him, even though he has not always been hated. It's like the memory of him has shifted where people are just like, yeah, he's always been like that. It's like everybody liked this guy. Like he wore his wacky pants. He had spiky hair. He was having a good time.
Our boy Ricky Fowler hasn't done much since that came out either. And same with Dustin Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's almost like being the Madden cover. Like it's a jinx. like being the cover of a video game. That's usually a jinx. Like this.
What's so sad about it too is it's such a fun inside look into their world, their personal lives. I feel like we got more of it in season 1.
And Tom Kim, he's got to go serve in the army.
Well, that doesn't have anything to do with Netflix.
No, but he was one of the main focuses of the show.
It's like that was always going to happen. Like that was so from the moment he was born, that was always going to happen.
I don't know, man.
You don't know that he always had to go serve in the military?
I thought he was from America. I didn't think he was born in Korea.
Well, that wasn't something that was like forced upon him because of Netflix or him playing golf.
No, it's because he wanted to represent Korea in the Olympics, and then he knew what he was getting into.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say I actually do not know where he was born and the classifications of his citizenship that caused those implications. So I'm going to step aside from a knowledgeable take on
wow. Wow, he was born in Seoul, South Korea.
He's got soul.
Yeah.
So
he was born there.
Okay.
I thought he was born in America.
Okay.
It could be just ignorance out of my end.
Yeah, but you could still say it's Netflix's fault.
It is Netflix's fault.
You know what, Netflix? What did you do?
Dude, think about it. All those guys, they have, except for Scheffler. But if you really think about it, Scheffler still runs around in that little pack because of the whole
do you
arrest thing.
think the arrest was ultimately good for his career, bad for his career, or indifferent?
I don't think it matters
nothing.
anymore. Like that don't matter. I think it only mattered. Like say he went the whole year without winning anything else. That would have mattered. But
here's what I think. I think it was huge for him. I think it was huge in terms of not the quality of his golf, him making more putts, him hitting a longer drive, none of that. The perspective of the golf fandom shifted. And it did for me too. And because here was the thing. Scottie Scheffler comes along, starts playing well, starts playing better and better, all of a sudden wins a Masters. And again, he's so stoic and focused. And he's even said it in interviews. One of his greatest strengths is his ability to remain calm and centered. And he'll get a little mad. He'll, kind of hit a club down, but he doesn't spiral. He's not, you know what I mean? He has a way of maintaining this mental control. So because of that, there's some times where he's not wildly interesting to watch because he's not putting on the show.
He's playing boring golf.
The Tiger Woods crazy fist pump when he makes it. I mean, just those moments where it's just oh my God, this guy's electric. And you don't always get that out of Scottie Scheffler because he has harnessed this power, which is quite frankly one of his greatest advantages that he has. I mean, you look at the opposite of that would be a Terrell Hatton, who is cursing and screaming and ready to snap a club in half and stab somebody in the eye. That isn't Scottie Scheffler. So there's this sort of thing where it's okay, I'm watching you win and I'm trying to have fun. Where is the guy in and amongst all this? He's just nice. He, is very into his faith and his girlfriend from high school, now his wife, and they're having a nice little baby. And it just all seems so nice and simple, but there was no let's go.
He needed some dirt.
I mean, you even look at I love I'll get replays of Kobe Bryant moments where he had this intention to intimidate the other team through body language, through what he is doing. He set out this goal to create this persona that was threatening. Tiger Woods very similarly, Tiger Woods, one of my favorite things he talks about is playing mental games with the other players. Outside of being the greatest golfer in the world, he's doing things that psych the other person out. Is Scottie even thinking about any of this stuff? So there was just this feeling of oh, here's this big, tall dude coming to win again. And he's just kind of okay with it and remaining stoic. Somehow, in Louisville, Kentucky, this wild situation went down, and seeing him in the orange jumpsuit being hauled out of a tournament that, quite frankly, has every potential to win on the planet the #1 ranked player in the world, is sitting in jail while the rest of the field is warming up, is like, wait, this is the most insane sort of transition, from what we thought to like what was just thrown at us. And then to see him power through that and keep his strength and his mind and his attitude, all of a sudden for me was like, oh, this he's an animal. Like nothing stops him. That's what it is.
He's a dog.
He is. He's got that dog in him. And what it sort of flipped for me is he's not boring and sort of plain and just walking down the fairway. No, he's like a stone pyramid. He's like, the strength in him is unbelievable. Like it gave perspective to this sort of character role and somehow tested it in a whole different way. And for me, completely shifted the way that I felt about Scottie Scheffler. And from that point on, I started rooting for him. To me, the gold medal at the Olympics was gigantic.
That was huge.
It was huge. Watching the FedEx Cup play out all the way down to the final round, watching him win that to me was like a victory parade. It meant so much more. And it was the least frustrated I had been in my time of watching Scottie Scheffler to just going like, oh, hand him another one. Here we go. And he's going to take it home and I don't know, go push mow his front yard. Like, I don't know what the guy does. I feel like he drives around in a minivan and like eats Wheaties. Like who, you know what I mean? I don't know. And all of a sudden now I'm like, oh, this guy. He's the guy. I don't know, it shifted. It was, for me, in terms of fan perspective, the global purview of Scottie Scheffler shifted that day. And I feel like the whole world, whether they know it or not, looks at him different now.
Oh, yeah. I think as soon as that happened, I looked at him like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, this is either going to make him or break him.
Yeah.
And it made him.
Well, you know where we're not going to see him? In Chicago this weekend.
No, we won't.
We got a hometown game. Live Golf is coming here to Chicago. It was like 30 minutes from here. 35,
About
maybe,
so.
give or take. Hopefully there's no traffic.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think it's going to be fun.
I think it will be too.
We're going to be out there.
We're out there grinding.
Yeah. Good to see our boy Bryson.
I might be able to get to meet him now.
What if he's going to bring the cup? Does he still drag it around?
Probably not.
I don't think he can.
I think it passed.
Well, he said he wanted everyone to touch it. I think everybody has. Like it's been touched.
I'll tell you something. I haven't touched it.
I've touched it a few times. Gently.
Gently.
You
wanna
can't be rough.
You want to be rough with it?
No. You know what was very cool? At the U.S. Open, I got to be a part of this little media event, and it was at the new Golf History Museum, whatever, that they just put in Pinehurst. And they actually had the trophy sitting out at the dinner party, and you could hang out and take pictures with it and whatever. And it was fun because I got to see the trophy the day before his name was etched into it.
Oh, that's sick.
And then I got to see it again about 4 days later in Nashville at Live Golf with his name etched in it. So it was just kind of fun to, like, I don't know, see that little piece of history inscribed on the trophy.
That's so sweet. I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous.
What part?
Just making sure everything goes how we need it to.
Yeah. There's so many things that can go wrong in our business.
Dude, if Phil Mickelson comes up to you or comes up to us, I might lose it.
Are you going to be able to maintain composure?
I should be able to.
What would be your, default reaction that you wouldn't want to happen? Would you start talking too much?
Yeah.
Would you fangirl out? Would you scream? Would you lock up? Would you forget to press record because you're just like frozen?
No, I don't think I would have a problem with the recording part. It'll be a problem with me maybe talking too much or of course I wouldn't do it behind camera, but I also think it's going to be the flip too. I don't think I'm going to talk enough.
Yeah, you're going to have a panic attack.
Yeah, probably.
I'm like, hey, Phil, you're making, oh my God, because it's Phil.
Oh my God.
Swing left-handed, because I swing left-handed. And then, because this one time I had a bunker shot and it was great.
Dude, I wear a black glove because of you.
I do the hinge and hold. I watched your video. I hinge and hold. Remember?
Yeah, it don't work for me no more.
Yeah. Can you give us a new one? Because that one doesn't work for me.
How do you drive it straight?
Well, I hope you get to meet him. I hope you get to meet one of your heroes.
I hope too, man, because that'd just be cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, not like I'm not happy to meet anyone else there.
Sure.
But like, there's a handful of people like Rom.
Yeah.
Bryson.
Rom's press conference is tomorrow morning.
Hell yeah.
Him and Joaquin Neiman are at 10 a.m.
Yeah, because they're the top two.
Yeah. And they said statistically and in terms of points, the only two in potential running for the individual championship this weekend.
Wow.
So other guys can obviously win money and, you know, second and third and fourth. I mean, none of that ever sucks. But in terms of potential to win, it's sort of a showdown between these two players.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how the pairings go. Will they play in the same group head to head, or are they going to be sort of spread out and you've got to watch to see, you know?
I hope it's head to head.
It'd be fun.
But like I said, I'm only going to media days. So, because I got other...
You got a lot going on.
Yeah.
It's a busy week.
Dude, we have been moving. I'll tell you something. We have been moving.
I know. And you know what? All we're trying to do is keep up.
And we're doing a good job with it, I feel like.
We are. Like, I just feel like last week I got a little behind. I scored a hole in one, kind of got sidetracked with some videos. Now our challenge is not posted yet, so
It'll still be there. It'll still be there.
You know, it's not going anywhere.
We still got a whole bunch of stuff you guys could get ready for, you know. Always check out the website. Content's being posted all the time on there. Battle of the Pods, me versus Dan. Be ready for that because we have one more hole of Dan and Thomas. For
the playoff hole.
Yeah, the playoff hole.
The decider of it all.
It's an electric video. It's you guys do not want to miss that. And then live golf content. We're gonna be doing some fun stuff. You got stuff planned, I bet.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just riding your coattails, so it don't matter.
I think it's going to be fun.
I think it is too.
All right. Well, we will be back next week to update you on the wild shenanigans of Live Golf Chicago. But until then, we'll see you next time.